beautiful day, Patriots. How are you? It's the Christmas season, the time for the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. A lot of other people will celebrate Christmas in other fashions and forms, and I'm not here to judge anybody's how they're going to celebrate December, because there's many religions around the world, many of them. Now here in America, we celebrate Christmas as our national holiday, celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. Now, as time's gone on, it's got completely whitewashed and lost, and it is now just about celebrating a fat red man giving out presents so that we can go out and buy. Consumerism. It is the, it's one of the traps. We want to blame these large businesses that make so much stuff and they make so much money, but it's not their fault. It's the consumer that buys the product. I know that like being a drug dealer is a bad thing, but if people didn't buy drugs, there would be no drug dealer. So it's just evil filling in a slot, and then it's the people that go to the evil source to be trapped in their prisons. Yes, just like politics. Poly in etymology means of many, and ticks is a blood-sucking insect. Politics. And what does politics do? It wants your money. It sucks your money. If they can't get it by taxing you, right, then they beg and ask for it for donations. It's a non-stop, government is a non-stop source of them begging for money. Now, as we go into this Christmas season, people like to call themselves elves, especially in the Q community. They like to call themselves elves. And, well, I'm sure that it's a very innocent thing, right? Elf on a shelf. No big deal, right? Well, let's look at elf on a shelf. You're going to see this a bunch this month. Elf on a shelf, right? What does elf stand for backwards? Flea. And then shelf backwards is Vlies. Kind of looks like, phonically, flea and flesh. I know it's not, because there's an A missing in both of them, right? Flea and flesh. A flea is a bloodsucker that sucks blood off of flesh. Elf on a shelf. Oh, that's just phonics. But let's go ahead and do something else. Elf on a shelf. These elves are anonymous. FLE. What does FLE stand for? Well, if we go into Wikipedia and see FLE, what does that stand for? Family Life Education. Oh, Federal Law Enforcement in the United States. What do you mean federal law enforcement in the United States? The federal government of the United States empowers a wide range of law enforcement agencies to maintain law and public order related to matters affecting the country as a whole. As a whole. Oh, so the acronym for federal law enforcement in the United States is FLE. Hey, that's flea spelled backward, or elf spelled backwards. Are you elves federal government, federal law enforcement governments pretending to be anonymous people in the Q community? Huh? Are you elves federal law enforcement? Oh well, I'm sure it's a coincidence. Let's go look at what FLEHS stands for. What do you guys think? You think that's a good idea? Should we do that? Should we go see what that stands for? Well, before I go and show you what it stands for, I'm going to tell you what they do. The FLEHS its data consists of multiple biomarkers obtained by targeted analysis of cord blood samples collected directly after birth in 3 subsequent campaigns over a 12-year period. Time trends of multiple biomarkers across the subsequent FLEHS newborn campaigns, which stands for POPs. What is the anonymous Donald Trump Twitter page? Does he call himself Poppy? What's his name? Pop something? It's just a coincidence, right? Flesh, where is it?
Wouldn't he be a federal agency? If he's not Donald Trump, is not that a federal agency employee?
Flesh. Oh, what were you talking about? Oh, yeah. Donald Trump Poppy. Doesn't he call himself Pop Trump?
Q wants the federal government.
Just a coincidence, right? So what is this again?
President Trump is federal government employee.
This here is the network analyst to identify communities among multiple exposure biomarkers measured at birth in the 3 Flemish general population samples. And this, humans are exposed to multiple environment chemicals via different sources called canned food, soda pop, aspartame, aspirin, fluoride. Should I continue on? So, what are we talking about? Elf on a Shelf is a federal law enforcement, and Flesh is a biochemical company that tracks blood at birth. And right now, we are in a pandemic that is attacking certain blood types. You say no, but you don't have the truth. You don't know what's going on. Here's the other thing, is they say that everybody's dying off of COVID, right? There's no other, if you go in for a heart attack and you die, it's COVID-related death, right? So in reality, nobody really knows what everybody's dying from, right? Right? I mean, we can't trust anything and everything's confusing, but people will still sit there and say, oh, COVID's killing people or the vaccine's killing people. And nobody else would want to talk about something maybe differently, that it's bigger. Or that it has nothing to do with each other, that the two aren't even related. That just like back in the day with the Black Plague, when the asteroids came down, the asteroid left dust, space dust, particles that caused infections and diseases on Earth. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe it's just a coincidence we're having more comments again now. So if we all fight about either the disease of corona or the vaccine that's killing us, but in reality, neither of those two things are what is happening, would it not be easy to hide the truth and have everybody arguing about stuff that's not even, that they're arguing about stuff that's 100% false on every single angle? Again, Poppy Trump, huh? You guys follow anonymous channels like that, huh? Wow. It's absolutely insanity. Oh, by the way, President Trump has been on Epstein's plane multiple times. How come we don't talk about that? Why is that not something that's important? Everybody wants to say Epstein's planes, people that are on Epstein's plane. Well, Trump was on Epstein's plane multiple times. And again, do Lolita.